Marcos has determined that 1/3 of his patient's body is covered in burns. Identify equivalent fraction to 1/3 to determine the number of sections of the body that are affected. So equivalent fractions are different fractions that have the same value. Let's go ahead and fill that in. So equivalent fractions are different fractions that have the same value. So let's look into this further by using an example with Marcos' patient. Marcos has determined that one of the 3 parts of the patient's body is burned. So let's draw this out. We're just going to go ahead and shade one of these boxes. To show that 1 out of the 3 parts is burned. So now we will need to find an equivalent fraction that shows the same size but uses different numbers. So we do this by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So, for example, our goal is to get a total number of 9 on the bottom because there are 9 parts of the human body that is divided into when classifying burns. So, we will then look at 1/3, and so to get to 9, we would multiply it by 3. Because 3 times 3 is 9. And whatever we do to the top, we do, or whatever we do to the bottom, we do to the top. So if we multiply this 3 on the bottom, we also multiply the top by 3. So 1 times 3 is 3, and right, and we did 3 times 3 is 9. So 3 out of 9. So now we look at the bottom, and we notice that we've already had it cut up into 9 equal boxes, which is the same amount as the top one in length. But this time we're going to shade 3 of these boxes, which you can notice that is the same amount of shading is in the first one. So you can now visualize that these two, 1/3 and 3/9 are equivalent fractions. So let's look at another example. Nestor has a 3rd-degree burn on 1/4 of his body. What are 2 equivalent fractions to 1/4? So to answer this question, we need to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So let's do this with 2 first. So we have 1/4, and we're going to multiply it by 2 on the top and the bottom. So 2 times 1 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So we have 2/8 as one of our equivalent fractions. Let's use another number. Let's use 3. So 1/4, we're going to multiply 3 on the top and the bottom. So 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. This is another equivalent fraction. Therefore, the 1/4, 2/8, 3/12 are all equivalent. And a way we can double check this is we can use our calculator and divide all these numbers to get into a decimal. So this way, if we go 1 divided by 4, we get 0.25. 2 divided by 8, 0.25. Now let's try 3 divided by 12, which is 0.25. So these all have the same decimal answer. So these fractions are equivalent and have the same value.